You know that sensation of the invisible wall? You eat a meal you were told was healthy, but 90 minutes later, you are hit with a wave of exhaustion so heavy it feels physical. This is that 3 p.m. crash where the brain fog becomes a thick, suffocating veil, making it impossible to focus on the screen in front of you. Or perhaps it's the frustration of looking in the mirror and seeing a stomach that feels tight, distended, and inflated, looking like you are 6 months pregnant, even though the scale hasn't budged in weeks. You've been disciplined. You've been eating 1,200 calories. You've been white-knuckling your way through the day, yet your body feels like it's working against you. This isn't just a natural part of aging, and it isn't a character flaw. It is a biological SOS. It is a sign that your cellular engines have stalled. The mainstream health complex tells you this is a simple math problem. They say, just eat less and move more. But the latest metabolic research proves that for 88% of Americans, this math is fundamentally broken because the variables themselves are compromised. This is the willpower trap. You believe you're failing the diet, but the diet is biologically rigged against you. You might be reaching for those keto-friendly bars that are actually packed with inflammatory industrial seed oils. Or perhaps you're forcing yourself to snack every 2 hours to stoke your metabolism. In reality, you are doing the exact opposite. You are keeping your insulin levels chronically spiked, which makes fat burning biologically impossible. Your inability to lose weight isn't a calorie problem. It's a rusted biological lock on your cells called insulin resistance. Today we are going to decode how a specific compound sitting in your kitchen right now can chemically scrub this rust away. But there is a catch. To make it work, you must follow a specific 10-minute activation rule that 99% of people miss. If you cook it wrong, the medicine dies. If you prep it right, you flip the master switch for your entire metabolism. To understand why your body is holding on to weight, we have to look at the villain of this story, insulin resistance. In a perfectly healthy body, insulin acts like a high-end concierge. It binds to a receptor on your cell surface, triggering a signal called the PI3KIATT pathway. Think of this as the all-clear command that tells the cell to open its doors and let energy in. However, due to chronic inflammation and constant sugar overload, this signaling wire gets severed. This is where the rusty lock comes in. Visualize your cell's insulin receptor as a sophisticated metal lock. Over time, toxic grime, scientifically known as reactive oxygen species, cakes onto that lock. Your pancreas produces the key, which is insulin, and it tries to enter the lock to deliver fuel, but the mechanism is jammed. It won't turn. Because the sugar in your blood has nowhere to go, it backs up in your system. It stops being a fuel source and turns into a thick, sticky syrup that literally rots your blood vessels from the inside out. But here is the biological breakthrough. Allicin, the active compound found in garlic, acts like a powerful bubbling solvent. When it touches the cell surface, it doesn't just mask the problem, it dissolves the oxidative grime on the lock. It reactivates that broken PI3K signaling pathway, repairing the connection at the source. Furthermore, it upregulates the NRF2 pathway, creating a surge of internal antioxidants like glutathione to deep clean the cell. Suddenly, the metal shines, the key slides in effortlessly, and the warehouse doors, the GLUT4 transporters, swing wide open to pull the sugar out of your blood and into the furnace to be burned. If you ignore this jammed lock, your body is forced to find a plan B for all that excess sugar. It shunts it directly to the liver. This begins a silent, decade-long process called hepatic steatosis, or fatty liver. It is a metabolic ghost. It can haunt your body for 6 to 10 years without a single symptom. Eventually, this progresses to MASH, where your liver cells become inflamed and scarred. The data is terrifyingly precise. The most dangerous metric for your longevity isn't your total weight, it's your visceral fat area. Once that deep belly fat exceeds, you are statistically guaranteed to hit metabolic syndrome within 3 years. However, the science offers a path back. A 2024 meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials confirmed that this specific intervention reduced fasting blood glucose by over and slashed HbA1c levels by nearly 0.7%. Your biochemistry doesn't lie. You just have to give it the right tools to clean the locks. This cellular repair is the foundation of everything. Without fixing the receptor site first, any exercise you do or any salad you eat is just noise to a system that has forgotten how to listen. You aren't just losing weight. you are chemically restoring your body's ability to communicate with itself, ensuring that every nutrient you consume finally finds its way home instead of being stored as toxic waste. Here is the aha moment. The reason you feel that crushing brain fog and a persistent lack of motivation isn't just all in your head. It's actually happening in your gut. There is a hidden connection between your stalled weight loss and your brain chemistry. The same metabolic dysfunction that is jamming your liver is simultaneously breaking the zipper of your gut lining, known as tight junctions. When these junctions fail, toxins leak out, enter your bloodstream, and travel straight to your brain. Once there, they trigger a specialized alarm system called the NLRP3 inflammasome, causing low-grade neuroinflammation. This is why you can't willpower your way into a better mood. Your brain is physically inflamed. This creates a devastating domino effect that starts the moment you step into your kitchen. It begins with an enzyme failure. If you consume garlic immediately after chopping it, you are making a critical mistake. High heat or immediate consumption destroys the enzyme allinase before it ever has a chance to create the therapeutic allicin. You end up eating the flavor, but you completely miss the medicine. Without those specific garlic compounds to act as a prebiotic and anti-inflammatory shield, bad bacteria begin to proliferate as the gut becomes leaky. Inflammatory cytokines cross the blood-brain barrier and begin suppressing your frontal cortex. This is the part of your brain responsible for executive function. You experience this as a sudden disappearance of motivation. Your brain is literally demanding sugar to find a temporary spark of energy because the cellular signaling is broken. We have to bust one of the most dangerous myths in the fitness industry, the idea that a calorie is a calorie. High insulin levels act like a pharmacological block on lipolysis, the process of fat burning. Think of your fat cells like locked vaults. If your insulin is high, the vaults are shut tight. Allicin lowers your fasting insulin, effectively handing you the combination to the vault so that the calories out part of the equation can actually function. To implement this fix, we have to start with what you remove. Stop buying bleached, rootless garlic, the kind often found in bulk mesh bags. These bulbs are frequently grown in sewage-contaminated soils. Instead, look for organic garlic with the roots still attached. This is your primary indicator that the bulb hasn't been chemically treated to prevent sprouting and still contains its full medicinal potential. Now, let's unlock the actual medicine. You cannot just swallow a clove whole and expect a miracle. You must follow the 10-minute activation rule. First, you must crush, mince, or smash the garlic clove. This physical destruction of the cell walls is what allows the alliin from the cell's body to meet the enzyme allinase from the vacuole. But here is the critical step. You must wait exactly 10 minutes before eating it or adding it to heat. This waiting window is non-negotiable. It is the time required for the enzyme to chemically convert the raw materials into allicin. If you throw it straight into a hot pan, the heat kills the enzyme instantly, and the conversion never happens. After 10 minutes, the allicin is heat stable enough to survive light cooking. Aim for 1 to 2 cloves daily, or if you can't handle the pungency. By mastering this one simple habit, you are scrubbing the rust off your insulin receptors, sealing the leaks in your gut, and quieting the inflammation in your brain. You are no longer a victim of a broken system, but a detective who has finally solved the mystery of their own vitality.